Moving on to Rowling being banned from the BBC, or at least the BBC reading list, to be more specific. I mean, what do you make of that? Is it just the fact of that she didn't make the cut, or do you think it is revealing their sensitivities around this issue and actually, to some extent, a political decision to exclude her, potentially because of her views?
Yeah, no, I think this reading list is really interesting, actually. I mean, any selection is going to cause, create a bit of a furore. People will be upset by what's been included and others by what's not been included. But I think the justification that's been given from the people that have made the selections is really, really pathetic. This idea that they said that they've removed her to make space for a less well-known author, which seems really kind of like odd. Why her? There are lots of other, Margaret Atwood's there are loads of other very well-known authors. So that seems like a very, very shabby excuse for basically them having, what you're relating to your other question earlier, it might not make somebody do something, but the fact that people think it's okay to vent and express such, hatred against somebody on the pure basis that you have a disagreement with them, that you don't see something the same way, says a lot about that person and a lot about the kind of cultural moment that we're in. And I think this reading list is also very similar. I mean, for me, I just think it's such a shame. There's a J.K. Rowling question, but I think there's an even kind of wider question that is raised by this reading list, which is, it's meant to be a celebration, but you're not clear exactly what it's celebrating. It's meant to be about literature, but you not really have any sense of what literary criteria is being used. It essentially seems like the personal preferences.
Yeah, just
sorry, I'm going on, Anna. You want to ask me?
No, it's very interesting. Just finally on that point that you actually raised, I really worry about the way that J.K. Rowling, as you've kind of alluded to, has been turned into this kind of boogeyman figure to which almost anything is allowed to be done towards her or expressed towards her.
To a house.
Yeah, she's almost been unpersoned and been turned into a caricature, which is almost dehumanising in a way. What do you think, Alka?
No, I think that's very indicative of the way the way that the politicisation of culture is working and identity politics is working, in that it presents itself as being kind of very morally virtuous and concerned about being kind and concerned about improving society and improving the way we behave with each other. But actually, anyone that disagrees, it's like no holds barred. You can be as cruel and as vicious and as, dismissive and contemptuous in a way that's totally out of proportion to what the disagreement might be about. So it does show that it shows the cruelty of this cultural authoritarianism.